Welcome again to my channel. This is Trev from Trevessence, and today we're going to take a look at some items of news. But before we do that, if you are new here, a very special welcome to you. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you are a returning traveler, I want to say thank you for your continued support. In the first news of today, one of Elon Musk's space toys exploded yesterday. Yesterday, January 16th of 2025, SpaceX, which is owned and operated by Elon Musk, had a Starship launch out of Brownsville, Texas. However, approximately 8.5 minutes into the flight, contact with Ship 33 was lost shortly before its engines were scheduled to shut down. The spacecraft subsequently exploded over the Turks and Caicos Islands, resulting in much of the debris falling into the Atlantic Ocean. SpaceX's CEO Elon Musk has attributed the explosion to a likely oxygen leak in the cavity above the ship's engine firewall, which built up pressure beyond vent capacity. He has indicated that corrective measures would be implemented, including adding fire suppression to that area and increasing vent capacity. Musk also stated that the incident is barely a bump in the road, suggesting minimal delays for the next test flight, which is expected to take off next month. Let's continue to wish him well on his efforts to further space exploration. And coming back to Earth, a 67-year-old Florida woman was found guilty of leaving her 7-month-old granddaughter in a hot car where she later died. Tracy Nix, a former school teacher and principal, left her 7-month-old granddaughter Uriel in her car while she went to play with her dog and practice the piano. The child was later discovered and pronounced dead at the hospital later that night. But what makes this story more disturbing is that it was not the first grandchild that had lost his life in the care of his grandmother. A few months prior to Uriel's death, her older brother also died while in the care of his grandmother. According to reports, Tracy Nix fell asleep while watching the young child. The child then opened the door, crept under a fence, and drowned in a nearby pond. She was never charged in that incident. However, she was found guilty of leaving Uriel in her car, causing her death. For this, she could face up to 5 years in prison. Let's move on to a little bit of politics. There is still an uproar and fake outrage at Michelle Obama's announcement that she will not be attending the inauguration on Monday. And while some people are arguing about Michelle Obama's stance, there is a good 92% of the population who stands behind her. It has also been reported that 3 of the living presidents have opted out of the presidential lunch on Monday. Now, can you blame officials for not wanting to sit at the table with the incoming administration? You really can't. But while they can cop out of having lunch with the incoming administration, we cannot escape what is facing us for the next 4 years. And moving right along, today is the 17th, so we have 2 more days before TikTok is no more. Now, the outgoing administration has agreed not to collect the fines levied against TikTok, but I'm not sure what will happen when the new administration takes over. One good thing is that the incoming president has said he will save TikTok, and I really hope he does. TikTok has been a great place to showcase one's creativity, a place where everyone's voice can be heard, and a place where dreams and authenticity comes alive. So, like millions of Americans, I am hoping that TikTok sticks around. Now let me come right back home to Fayetteville, North Carolina. Fayetteville police have arrested and charged a man in connection with the death of 25-year-old Heather Williams, who was previously reported missing and endangered. 30-year-old Terrell Searmans is believed to have been the person seen on surveillance camera picking up Heather the night she disappeared. Heather, who has some physical and mental disabilities stemming from an accident a few years ago, was picked up from her home on January 3rd. She hadn't been heard from or seen since. Her body was later found near Newark and State Avenue. Her sister, Mary Williams, and the rest of her family are devastated at this loss. The suspect admitted that he met Heather on either Facebook dating or Facebook Messenger. And this is such a sad situation because there are so many people out there who are meeting people online, and we have to remember that the people we meet online are not usually the same when we meet them in person. And one cautionary tale: don't ever go to meet somebody you have met online without anybody else knowing who they are. I hope Heather Williams' family gets the justice they deserve. That's as much as I'm going to have for you all today. Until next time, this is Trev from Trev Essence, where your journey matters.